Yo, man, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Mickal, aka Mr. Nap Here, boy. Today's video, man, we got sucked into an oil pipe. Whereas diving incident. If you guys are new, man, hit that like button, subscribe and share, man. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. You know the vibes, man. Let's get it, man.
Sucked forcefully into an oil-coated 30-inch underwater pipeline at immense speed, these 5 men found themselves in an unimaginable waking nightmare, but only one of them would live to tell the tale. A GoPro camera mounted on one of the divers recorded the exact moment disaster struck. What it unveils will send shivers down your spine. On February 25, 2022, at the Berth 6 platform in Pointe-à-Pierre, the men of LMCS, Faisal Kirban, Kazim Ali Jr., Rishi Nagasar, Yusuf Henry, and Christopher Boudram were tasked with maintenance work on a dormant pipeline. The pipeline belonged to Paria Fuel Company, a government-owned oil company in Trinidad and Tobago. The pipe in question was a 30-inch U-shaped pipeline which runs along the seabed. It was designed to transport oil from Berth 6, where ships unload their oil, to Berth 5, the refinery. While some risk was involved, the 5-person diving team were well prepared and experienced divers. The team placed an air tube inside a diving bell, a unique habitat shaped like an 8-foot cube. The diving structure provided a dry workspace for the LMCS maintenance team. LMCS installed the cube structure over the pipe at Berth 6 to displace the water inside the work area. The cube created a pressure pocket of air that forced out the ocean water to create an appropriate workspace. Once ready, this work area allowed the crew to remove their diving gear and safely use their tools to perform their essential work. Undoubtedly, they had completed the procedure hundreds of times. As the 5 veterans...
That's kind of crazy though. If you're thinking about it like this, bro, I feel like it's really sucks to like die like this, bro. Sucked into an oil pipe, stuff like this. Like, it's just sad, bro. And we don't really know when, let's say, when our time up is on Earth, bro. You never really know, bro. And then, you know, saying they're just doing their job, bro. They probably, them 5 people that they probably didn't know that they weren't gonna make it home. I mean, he just said there was only one person to tell the story, so man, like that's probably traumatizing. They're probably giving PTSD.
Veteran divers performed their duties. It was business as usual, until it wasn't. The company installed an inflatable plug 2 weeks earlier to protect the pipe's oil and prevent contamination. The line wasn't in service then, though it could be put into service when needed. The industry calls this dead legs, and it isn't without its risks.
That's actually from the site? Nah, that's crazy. That's from the actual site?
He calls this dead legs, and it isn't without its risks. While this is standard procedure, the process requires intense planning, process hazard risk assessment, and close monitoring. Preparing for maintenance jobs like this can take days, if not longer. Unfortunately, this likely means the oil company wasn't willing to prepare for a safe operation. But like most employees, the 5 divers were following orders. The divers descended to their work site, unaware of the surprise. As it turns out, inflatable plugs like this are pressurized, holding back the high-pressure air in the diving bell and the low-pressure air in the pipe itself. These events created the formula for disaster. Once Ali Jr. handed a wrench to his crewmates in the diving bell, they began loosening the valve to release the plug. The 5 divers had no warning. As soon as they released the plug, the pressure difference turned the inside of the pipe into a relentless vortex, ruthlessly sucking in air, water, people, and equipment into its depths. The power of the suction was too strong, and
that's sad, bro. They didn't even know, no warning. That the people that had him working on the pipe or whatever it is didn't give him no warning or nothing. As soon as he used that screw, bro, boom, the pressure, the water, like that's, you know, it's going fast, so they couldn't even stop it, bro. And then plus, like sometimes when you're unaware, sometimes it gets you off guard, bro. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes your brain is not reacting enough quickly to help you out. You know what I'm saying? It's
Torrent of water surged into the diving bell, turning their sanctuary into a death trap. The sudden influx of water and pressure differential unleashed a force that yanked the men and their tools into the narrow pipeline. In the blink of an eye, they found themselves hurtling violently through a whirlpool of water and oil for an agonizing 90 seconds, fighting for oxygen. Suddenly, they came to a stop. They gathered themselves and assessed their positions in the pipe, realizing the gravity of their situation. They discovered that the violent tornado of water, air, and oil left them settled somewhere in the line where an air pocket allowed them to breathe. The sole survivor, Christopher Boudrum, vividly recounts how it went down.
Tornado, everything just spinning and beating you up, and it happened so fast, I couldn't react. The only thing I remember able to do was...
that's what I mean. Stuff that happens so fast, it's kind of hard for you to react and like think for a second because everything is happening so quick. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad for him, bro, because he's the only one that survived from this stuff, bro. And he's probably gonna traumatize. He's probably gonna get PTSD. If he hears like a little thing, it's probably gonna trigger something where he's probably thinking about what happened in his coworkers. That could be his friends too, his coworkers, bro. He's the only one out of 5 people that made it out alive, bro. And other people died. That's crazy, bro.
Over my head, like in the fetal position. After that, all I remember, I didn't even remember actually getting pulled in the pipe. I just remember going pulled through the pipe at unbelievable speeds. I couldn't hold my breath no longer, man. Truth. When you're holding your breath for too long, after a while, your body, your lungs just fight. Yeah, waist closed, you see a noise. Your body suffering to pull air. An unbelievable nightmare. Your eyes burning. Every time you try to open your eyes, it's burning. You're pitch black, you can't see nothing. Your throat burning. Your ears ringing. Your body sore. And at that point, I tell myself I was going to dead.
Their struggle for survival was only beginning. The men were trapped inside a 1,200-foot-long oil pipe, disoriented, injured, and in absolute terror. Amidst this chaos and fear, the men tried to communicate and keep each other's spirits up. However, the reality of their situation squashed down any hope of survival. The GoPro that had been with them for the dive recorded every second of their plight, capturing the sheer terror and sounds of struggle as the men fought for their lives. Chris initially believed that they had been hurled through the pipe head first, so they had to crawl backward to make it out of the pipe. But Kazim, Yusuf, and Faisal were sure they had gone in foot first, so he trusted the judgment of the majority. As the least injured diver, Chris placed his feet on Kazim's shoulders. He then instructed Kazim to pull the rest of the group together and instructed Faisal to push everyone since he was...
That's sad, bro. But Chris was the only one that was less injured from the others, bro. Then they didn't know if they went head first or feet first, bro. And they trying to figure out how to get out and survive, bro. That's just sad, bro. This is why jobs like this can be risky, bro, because you never know on the job. It can be your last day and you don't even know, bro. You don't even know, bro. They took a picture. It looks like that was their last picture together, bro. The GoPro, everything. And hopefully he don't really show like, bro. That's going, bro. That's just really sad, bro, to hear that he's the only one that made it out of the 5 that was in that oil pipe, bro. And that's probably sad, bro, because that was his co-workers, you know what I'm saying?
At the back, linked together as a chain with Chris in front, they started trying to make it out of the pipe. Squeezing their way through thick, slippery oil residue in pitch-black darkness was unbearable. Dealing with broken bones, burning eyes, a burning throat, and extreme discomfort weighed them down. Their progress was excruciatingly slow, and the end was nowhere in sight. The men kept praying and moving to the best of their abilities. they eventually came across 2 oxygen tanks with the regulators still attached. Chris informed the men that breathing the air inside the pipe could make them delirious and nauseous. He advised them to take small sips from the tank in intervals to keep clear oxygen in their system. Although they found oxygen tanks, water levels rose as they progressed.
What?
Christopher noticed that some group members struggled to breathe and suffered various injuries. Others were blocked and unable to move. He decided to check how much the water would rise if they continued. As he moved forward, Chris came to a horrifying discovery. The next segment of the pipe was entirely underwater, and with just 2 oxygen tanks for 5 individuals, it wasn't safe to proceed any further.
Are you telling me they tried to get out of there? They struggled. They're trying to breathe. Their eyes burning, broken bones. They couldn't move. The more they moved up, the water levels, the water compression, and high, and they're struggling to breathe. They can't breathe. They don't have clean air to breathe. They couldn't move. That's a horrible way to that's a horrible way to die, bro. That's just so horrible, bro. Just the way I just really want to know how Chris even made it out alive, bro. Knowing his other co-workers bro.
Knowing this, Chris had to make the hardest decision of his life. He had to continue alone to get help for everyone. Chris prepared himself to tell the others. After explaining the situation to them, they agreed it was their only chance and gave Chris one of the oxygen tanks. Chris promised that he would get help and come back for them, and left. Still not entirely sure if he was going in the right direction and how much air he had left in the tank, he swam through the submerged section with the tank in front of him, hoping he would find another air pocket soon. The entire pipe had flooded sections, and some contained air pockets. After fighting to make his way underwater, he realized his oxygen was running out based on his air quality. With his diving instincts in overdrive, he breathed the last air in his tank. As if fate intervened, his tank collided with another metal object before him. It was another oxygen tank. He quickly tried to find the new tank's regulator. After scrambling in pitch black, he finally found it, but the regulator had no mouthpiece, so he pushed the whole thing in his mouth. His mouth was covered in oily sludge. He managed to take a relieved breath from the tank. He knew he couldn't stop and continued with all his strength, uncertain how long he could survive. As he clambered through the pipe, he finally entered another air pocket. Yet, instinctively, he knew his only escape was returning to the riser. Unfortunately, this section of the pipe was half full of water. He found another air tank and reached the last flooded section before the...
Bro. So he's the one that found this when he kept on. Oh. So he was really trying to help them. But it was probably too late because some of them were stuck, so they can't even move. Damn, bro. He was really trying to go up to help him, but it's probably too late, bro, because then it was hard to breathe down there. Their eyes burning, broken bones. And then they probably knew they weren't gonna make it too, bro. Chris probably thought he wasn't gonna make it, but he was gonna keep on fighting and fighting. But the other people, they couldn't move. But I felt like I really want to know what they're thinking at that time. They probably think like, dang, it's like they're probably saying, if you think about it, they're probably saying goodbye to each other and all that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe saying goodbye to each other, because I feel like when you're trying to fight for your life, bro, and you can't do nothing about it, it's like you just really gotta accept it. Like, damn, this is my last time. Like, damn, like they're probably saying goodbye to each other. You know what I'm saying? If really, man,
the riser.
sad,
At this time, he heard Faisal calling out his name. He had been following Chris. He asked Chris to wait before he entered the last flooded section, but Chris told him he couldn't wait any longer. They had been in the pipe too long and that their time was running out. He continued until he found the bend in the pipe that he hoped would lead to salvation. After what seemed like hours, this next decision would decide his fate. This was the moment of truth. Either this was berth 5, which was sealed off by a plug, or this was berth 6, where they came from. As he made up his mind for the third time to die, with one last push of determination, he kicked off towards the riser. As Chris continued to swim, he realized how tired he was, but he was determined to make it out and save his crew. Chris eventually reached the top of the pipe. Though he survived the ordeal, it wasn't over yet. As Christopher recounted the situation to the medical care staff, he recounted as many details as possible about the men and their position. Unfortunately, the rest of the LMCS team couldn't believe Christopher's story. The company assumed that the pipeline was full of oil and that any oxygen tanks they had would only give them an hour of air each. Rescue divers from the LMCS team dove down and knocked on the pipe, trying to find where the men were. They received the satisfying sounds of someone knocking back, undoubtedly providing the trapped men hope. But the LMCS team had yet to find a way to get them out. As the hours ticked by, the 4 injured divers suffered through their injuries, dealing with dwindling air, a curtain of suffocating oil fumes, rising seawater, and carbon dioxide. Though it seemed that Paria Trading Company and LMCS would initially save the 4 men, a rescue never came. The company pulled.
That's so sad, bro. That's so sad, bro. It's just so sad, bro. It really is, man. It really is, bro. They had a knock. They thought they were gonna make it, bro, and they didn't. The people didn't know how to get him out, and they suffered from the injuries, bro.
The 4 remaining bodies days after the incident began. They performed autopsies, but no one could agree on when each man died. Officials decided they survived until Saturday, but some speculated that one endured until Monday. Officials launched a commission of inquiry in Trinidad and Tobago to investigate the circumstances that led to the Paria diving tragedy.
Because everything inside me open, I rescue. Everything inside me open, I rescue was going on. Nobody was making an attempt to rescue me. I always somebody who doesn't know what's going on, and I always somebody who can control and see things through, and I feel like.
Chris, that's not your fault, bro. That's not your fault, man. That's not your fault, man. That's really not your fault, bro. He's the only one that made it out, bro. Somebody else was gonna made it out, but you're telling me they're just in that pipe for days. Nobody helping them. Nobody trying to find a way to try to help them get out, get back to their families and stuff like that, bro. And they just died in that in the pipe. And they don't know what day they died. They don't know, like. Please, I do not want to see this, bro. Please. I don't want to see this, bro. Please, I don't want to hear this song. I can't. Is this when they're going into the pipe, or this one they try to do the wrench thing or whatever it is, and then they you know what I'm saying? Oh, please, I'm not. Edit the audio to extent. Exclude 90 seconds of tumbling in the water. Huh? I can't do this. No, I can't. Can't do this, bro. I can't do it, bro. I'm not trying to hear people suffering. Nah, I can't. Nah, bro. I can't, bro. I cannot hear people suffering saying that inside. I can't, bro. I can't, bro. I can't do it, bro.
I'm trying to come up. General. Yeah. Right behind you, man. All right behind you? You're right behind me?
Bro, you can hear them suffering, bro.
Who making all that noise? Come on, all that we let's figure it out. We gotta go. We gotta start moving.
I can't do it, y'all, bro. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I can't do this, y'all. Like, subscribe, share, bro. I can't hear them moaning in pain. I can't. That's just so sad, bro. I'll see y'all in the next one, man.